You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Kat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
A lot easier for me to say, oh, I'm bleeding right now, or, oh, I'm about to bleed right now, so that it helps them to know. And I say this with all of my guy friends too. And I had this thought the other day, I was writing a post about this, but how often or how it used to be that we would hide when we were bleeding. The tampons would be hidden on our hand as we were going across the classroom so none of the guys saw it, or we would hide, in these little compartments, or it was such an embarrassment if we bled through our pants, or it was such an embarrassment, to talk about it. And it creates shame, perpetuating that creates shame. And then nobody can really understand us. We're like inhibiting ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And I would actually love to hear your input in terms of like the early like father-daughter interactions with, having, it's usually mom who talks to the daughter about her period, but having open communication with the dad too. So there's not like this male-female shame, which I think is more common than, shame around asking a woman for a tampon or something like that. But I'm guessing it has something to do with, you don't really talk to your dad about your period, especially when you're young. Like the thought of that was like, oh my God. Mortifying.
Yeah. Right. And dad doesn't go to the store to get the tampons or the pads. Dad doesn't talk to you. And maybe that a big part of that is because that generation, how much did they actually know about it to be able to communicate that to us? I don't know that they were given much education to feel confident in being able to have those conversations.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this things could change now too. So it could be interesting to see like if we can, start to have more open conversations with, dad and daughter, but also just like in school where boys are present. I remember when I was in middle school, during the sex ed days, girls go in one room to the library and learn about your period, and then boys go into another room. I don't know what they're learning about, like masturbation, maybe, probably not.
Not at my school.
They're learning about their puberty, I guess, for sure. But I think like, why don't we have that discussion together? Like, why are we segregating at that point? Because we're going to be growing up with males in our life and females in our life. And so we should know about each other. It shouldn't be like, okay, girls, we're going to talk about tampons. Don't tell the boys. Like it's starting that shame cycle really early.
Right. And it also creates this divide of men and women not understanding each other. This whole argument of men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but we're actually a lot more similar than we are different. And if we keep separating each other, like what you're saying, it further divides us instead of recognizing, our similarities or even just understanding the differences together so that it's not such a mystery or no, I can't understand women, women are crazy, whatever. It's all here. And I think it's podcasts like you and I, like what we're having right now, and Instagram and social medias where people are having these conversations and bringing these topics forward, that's helping to change that cultural narrative.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we just need to have more conversations. We need to start talking about it. And it's interesting too, if you start to dive into it. And I think it's really stuff that like men want to know this stuff. They want to be able to understand women better, and women should understand women better too. So it's not that women know all of this either. I think it's been really kind of hidden and not discussed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a whole nother talk of like healing the trauma of women against women. Just, yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. I'm like,
we ain't got time for that.
That might be a whole nother podcast episode.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe and head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better, so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.